In a crime noir television series titled Agnes of Westview, Agnes is a police detective in Westview fixated on a murder case. One night, a teenager breaks into Agnes's house looking for the road. Agnes believes he is tied to the murder case and arrests him. Rio, an FBI agent, comes to Agnes and helps her realize the murdered victim she is seeing is actually Wanda Maximoff's body, and that Agnes is actually the witch Agatha Harkness, who has been trapped under Wanda's spell for 3 years. Waking up from the spell, Agatha realizes that her powers are gone and that Rio, a fellow witch with whom Agatha has history, is there to kill her. Agatha convinces Rio to spare her until she gets her powers back, but Rio warns Agatha that the Salem 7 will soon come after her. After Rio leaves, Agatha is unsure what to do about Teen, whom she actually kidnapped under the influence of Wanda's spell. Teen reveals he freed Agatha from the spell and wishes to travel the witch's road, which rewards any witch who survives its trials what they desire most. In Agatha's case, the restoration of her powers. Agatha also realizes magic is preventing her from learning any personal information about Teen, including his name. Needing a coven to open a portal to the road, the pair recruits the witches Lilia, Jen, and Alice, who all have reasons to walk the road as well. Needing a green witch, but not wanting to recruit Rio, Agatha instead turns to Westview resident Sharon Davis, a talented gardener. As the 4 witches and Sharon perform the ritual to open the gate to the road, they and Teen escape through it to narrowly evade the Salem 7. The group then removes their footwear and sets off on the witch's road. Agatha explains that to reach the end of the road, the coven will face trials focused on different branches of witchcraft. They also realize that Teen's sigil prevents any witch from learning his identity. At the first trial, the coven finds a coastal house with a bottle of wine that everyone but Teen drinks. Jen privately warns Teen not to trust Agatha, who is said to have traded her child for the Darkhold. A timer starts counting down, and Jen realizes the wine was poisoned as Sharon faints. As they gather ingredients to create an antidote, the witches hallucinate. Lilia sees her younger self and her maestra from the Renaissance era. Jen hallucinates a doctor forcing her underwater. Alice sees her mother about to commit suicide, and Agatha sees a crib containing the Darkhold. As they prepare the antidote, the house is brought underwater, threatening to drown them. With a few seconds left, they finish the antidote, drink it, and feed it to Sharon. Water pours in, but a tunnel appears in the oven, and the coven escapes through it back to the road. As they recover, Teen discovers that Sharon is dead. After burying Sharon, the coven is forced to summon a replacement Green Witch. Rio emerges from Sharon's grave, much to Agatha's annoyance. The coven encounter a house with a 1970s aesthetic that prompts renewed feelings of grief for Alice, as it turns out to be a recording studio tied to her mother, Lorna Wu. Just as Rio playfully suggests to Agatha that they betray the others, which is overheard by everyone, Teen accidentally plays a record backward, summoning the demon who is the source of the curse in Alice's family. To fight it, the group plays Lorna's version of the ballad, revealed to be a protection spell, and Alice is able to kill the demon. As the coven leaves the house, they notice Teen had been severely wounded during the trial. Back on the road, Jen is able to heal his wound, saving his life. Later on, Lilia, Alice, and Jen bond while Rio alludes to her history with Agatha. Teen asks Agatha what happened to her son, but she does not answer. Later, as Agatha tries to kiss Rio, she tells Agatha that Teen is not her son. The Salem 7 chase the coven, who evades them using makeshift flying broomsticks. After being pulled back down by the road, they enter the next trial, which takes the form of a cabin with a 1980s aesthetic. The group uses a Ouija board and makes contact with Agatha's mother, Evanora, who was killed by her daughter in 1693 along with her previous coven, revealed to be mothers of the 7. Warning the coven to leave Agatha behind, Evanora possesses her and attacks the group. Alice uses her powers to expel Evanora from Agatha, who proceeds to absorb her magic. Teen, noticing another spirit's presence, stops Agatha by shouting its name. Agatha's son, Nicholas Scratch. But Alice dies. Agatha insists that it was accidental, but Teen lashes out at her, as well as Lilia and Jen, who affirm that their goals are the same as Agatha's. The latter mocks Teen by stating that he is just like his mother. Angered, he magically forces Lilia and Jen to toss Agatha into a mud trap. As the witches sink, A headwear similar to the Scarlet Witch's appears on Teen's head, implying that Teen is Wanda Maximoff's son. In flashbacks, William Kaplan, a teenager from Eastview, is celebrating his bar mitzvah where he encounters Lilia. Reading on his palm something she does not disclose, Lilia casts the sigil on William to protect him, instantly forgetting his identity. The party ends when the hex created by Wanda begins to fall. While driving past Westview, William's parents get into a car accident and he dies. But at that moment, Billy Maximoff's soul enters William's body, resurrecting him. William has trouble adjusting after the accident due to his newfound ability to read minds and his lack of memory of his life before. 3 years later, William and his boyfriend Eddie meet with Ralph Boner, who used to be controlled by Agatha inside the hex. He tells them about what happened there and about Wanda's twins, Billy and Tommy, making William realize he is actually Billy now in William Kaplan's body. Determined to use the witch's road to find Tommy, William goes to Agatha and breaks Wanda's spell. In the present, Agatha escapes the mud and, realizing the sigil has been destroyed, deduces William's goal and tells him that they must continue together since he cannot control his power. Agatha and Billy continue on the road before coming across a castle. Upon entering, the two are dressed as the Wicked Witch of the West and Maleficent, and are presented with tarot cards. If they do not place the proper cards in the correct sequence, swords hanging from the ceiling fall down. Flashbacks from Lilia's childhood lesson in divination reveal that she has been experiencing her life out of order, explaining her memory lapses. After falling through the mud, Lilia discovers that Rio is the personification of death, who forebodes that her time is coming. She awakens Jen, and after evading the Salem 7, they venture through the tunnels before reuniting with Agatha and Billy, with Lilia dressed as Glinda the Good Witch and Jen as the hag version of the evil queen from Snow White. Knowing the trial is for her, Lilia places the cards in their proper order, saving them all. Everyone flees through the exit while Lilia chooses to stay behind as the Salem 7 approach. She flips one of the cards, causing the entire room to flip, impaling most of the 7 and presumably herself. After that, young Lilia gleefully attends her first lesson in divination. Agatha agrees to give Billy to Rio, who views him as an abomination for gaining a second life. Billy and Jen rejoin Agatha at the end of the road, only to find that it goes in a circle. Billy puts his shoes back on, and the three are transported to a version of Agatha's basement with grow lights that slowly go out. Jen learns that Agatha was the witch who bound her, and performs the unbinding spell. She regains her abilities and disappears, having gotten what she needed from the road. Agatha helps Billy locate Tommy's soul, and Billy puts it in the body of a drowning boy. Billy disappears, and Agatha grows a flower through a crack in the floor using a seed from her locket, completing the trial. She escapes and finds herself in her backyard, where Rio awaits her. Billy returns to help her. Agatha attempts to give Billy up, but he convinces her to give herself up instead. Agatha kisses Rio and dies. Rio allows Billy to leave, and he returns home. Upon entering his room, he realizes that many of the objects in his bedroom match aspects of the road, and hears Agatha laughing. In 1750, Agatha gives birth to Nicholas, but is warned by Death that she will eventually take him. Agatha spends the next 6 years absorbing other witches' essences while raising Nicholas. Together, they create what will eventually become the Ballad of the Witch's Road, a simple children's song. Eventually, Nicholas grows sick and Death takes him, which heartbreaks Agatha. With nothing to hold her back, she spends the next centuries absorbing other witches' magic by tricking them into gathering covens to open the made-up Witch's Road, then aggravating them into attacking her. In the present, Agatha, now a ghost, tells Billy that he created the road. He despairs, blaming himself for the deaths of Lilia, Alice, and Sharon, but Agatha tells him that she was going to kill them anyway and that he did rescue Jen. Billy returns to the house and tries to banish Agatha. She reveals that she is afraid of dying because she cannot face Nicholas. Billy allows Agatha to remain as a ghost, deciding to take her on as a guide, closing the door of the road and recording the names of Sharon, Alice, and Lilia. Billy and Agatha set out to find Tommy.